What's up, everybody? It's me again, and this time to lean in, bitch. Welcome to the Lean, where we discuss all things reality TV, recaps, panel discussions, you name it. I am here. I'm your host, Cortez, and I'm here with Danny and Sammy. And we're here to talk about and to conclude this season 12 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. What's going on, Sammy and Danny? How y'all doing?
Doing
Good.
good.
Did
I
you
see
notice
y'all
you
didn't
didn't
get
have
kicked
to
out
log out?
today. I was just gonna say y'all didn't get kicked out today. I
Cause
don't
ain't
know
no
what happened,
Jamie.
but
The
huh?
lean must have paid their subscription.
I
Wait a
just
minute
think
now,
cause
hold
Jamie
up.
ain't here.
It
I
comes
think
out
it's cause Jamie
automatically
ain't
every
here.
month. Don't try it. I see we have people in the chat. Hey, JP Rob. I see Kevin. If you're in the chat, let us know you here. Um, Episode, I'm gonna say right now, it was all right. It's some stuff to talk about, but I'm just where Andy was very annoyed because I mean, for the most part, I feel like they should have brought the husbands out before now, maybe like midway. Because I feel like it was so much more that would have probably happened after that, but he clearly was trying to wrap it up to get to a dinner or whatever he's trying to get to. So I don't know. But if you're watching right now, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, whether you're watching the live or watching the replay. Be sure to always hit that like button to support the channel and keep us in the algorithm because that's what keeps the channel growing. Yes, JP Rob, Jamie is a little low budget per Sammy. I'm just repeating what I heard. I don't think that, but
You, you know, with these reunions, sometimes it feels like we always say it wasn't that good. It wasn't like getting any three parts. And I wonder, they get 12 hours because they film almost all day. Why
yeah.
did y'all pick that? Like, what made y'all think that was the good stuff to show? Was the other stuff just that much more boring? Because I just,
Do you know some though? Do you know something? Somebody was not there at all. They didn't put Tracy. They literally gave this. They had this lady
I
dressed
was
all the
looking
way
for.
up,
I
huh?
was looking for. I could not find. I put my glasses on and
I
everything.
kept.
There was
I'm
no
literally looking
Tracy.
at
There was no Tracy. Bravo,
I'm looking at
bravo.
the time like, okay, wait, maybe she'll come out when the husbands come out, maybe some, but when and Tiki didn't come out, I said, why would she come out? And they did not bring it out at all.
well,
That
they
is
don't want to hear say, we can't ask a question. That's, I mean, that's all she was going to say. I can't ask a question. What's wrong with asking a
What were
question?
they gonna ask her anyway though? Like, what did she? What
Yeah.
was?
well. Then why have her come? They gave this lady an opening. They gave her an opening look. She probably even had a damn tagline. She had a
But,
confessional. She had a husband. She
but
had
she
she
might
got
have
dressed up for
been.
the reunion. What?
She might have. She might have actually filmed part of it. They just didn't use it. She
Well, they
might have
showed her
filmed.
out there on the stage, didn't they? Sitting.
Well,
She
that's
was
what I'm
sitting in like a
saying. Like,
solo
but for
seat.
her, at least with a scholar, they at least gave her. It
10
was an
seconds.
embarrassing moment, but it was a moment.
They
I
should have
don't know.
gave her one either.
Thank you, Kevin. I've enjoyed. I always enjoy doing the reviews. Even when the episode is boring, I know I can always get on with really any panel and have a much better episode over here than we can over there. In Beverly Hills has been proof of that. Atlanta, all the shows we do, there's proof that once these episodes are boring, we at least provide a good show. So I'm grateful for that as well. So let's talk about it because we got a few things to kind of touch on. This episode was heavy on Louie and heavy on Bill. Um, and as much as Andy wanted it to be a moment where the husbands can kind of, tell all or give their side, the wives kept getting involved. More specifically, Jen and Teresa were the main ones. They were not going to let their men speak. And one of them didn't even really want to speak. I feel like he was scared. I'm talking about Bill. Bill was shook. I feel like he was going to get his ass beat because Jen was
Margaret Bill or the other Bill?
Bill, the other Bill, the
I mean,
Bill.
Jennifer Aiden.
Yeah. Okay.
What's his name?
You talking about Jennifer husband, right?
Yeah. Jennifer Hudson, yeah. He had like he was. I feel like he probably got his ass smacked afterwards because she literally, when she looked at him, she was like, "Say something, Bill." I'm like, "Shit, say something." Now, how do y'all feel? We gonna kind of just go around. I got specific topics. We'll just go around the whole thing. Like her whole explanation last week, she explained how he wanted to hide it. So when he came on the stage, I was expecting to hear more from him. I mean, do you feel like he is more supportive. Because I'm gonna say in this moment, I still feel like she was out there alone in many moments. And it seemed like she even was revealed that he didn't have her back because she didn't even know that he said that she was out of line for kicking him out until this reunion. It seemed like she missed all of that. So, like, how do y'all feel? Y'all feel like he has kind of come at least a little progress from that from when they showed the episodes to now, or is he still like kind of like need to step up and do more to support her? Go ahead, Sam.
I think he's made a bit of progress, but he could do more. Like, she shouldn't have had to have her back when they were out there trying to make her look crazy when it came to the whole Frank rumor in the situation. He should have spoke up. Like, he let her out there by herself, but she had to basically chastise him to make him say, okay, well, Frank, you did say such and such. He could do better. He's doing better, but he could do better.
He could do better, but I probably feel like Jen knows, and not making an excuse for him, but I probably feel like Bill has been this way his whole life. It doesn't seem like he likes negative confrontation. Or you know, I feel he's embarrassed. Like, the more I speak up on it, the more embarrassed I'm going to be, even though he should be speaking up because he caused all this. I think that's the exact reason he doesn't want to speak up.
But you know what's also embarrassing to me is I feel like that scene where she said, Andy, I need to be vindicated. I feel like that was very embarrassing for her because there was nobody out there. Like, everybody, literally, you already got a whole cast of women that's already making their side comments like, you know, girl, get it out, girl. Let us speak. Like, stuff like that, I would have probably popped off because I feel like they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're antagonizing her in a way.
It was really condescending.
Very condescending, too. So I feel like that was his moment to really step up and kind of be Chris Samuels, be somebody, like, have that moment, whether it's authentic or not. Like, I felt very embarrassed for her. And he needs to get over. I'm sorry, he needs to just get over. Like, she accepting you back. She is saying, you know, how great of a man you are. She constantly reiterates that to us. So I feel like he needs to let it go. Like, he on a reality TV show, his wife is very confrontational. So I don't really think that's an excuse. That's just me. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
But I also think that if it was up to him, they wouldn't be on the show. I really think she runs the household. I think if it was up to him, they would not be on the show.
Kevin says Jen interrupting Bill to speak was incredibly annoying. She irked my first, middle, and last nerve. I'm just saying. Are you talking about when which part was he speaking? Because I didn't catch her interrupt him. Did I miss that part?
No, she interrupted him almost every time he was talking.
Oh, you mean like okay? I get what you're saying. I know she definitely jumped in again when they talked about the whole thing. They were talking to him, and she came in and was addressing Joe again. How y'all feel about her addressing Joe again?
I was okay with it because we said it before. Like, this is her husband. Why would he come to your defense or choose your side over her? So I'm glad that she kind of said real quick. Let me just say, I'm his wife, the mother of his kids. Why would he choose you over me? I'm glad she mentioned that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't mind her speaking to Joe, but I'm also not one of those people that doesn't think that a husband can't speak to their wife. If you say something to me, I believe he can say something back to her. He don't have to say it to the husband.
Yeah. No, I agree. I guess my whole issue is that I just really want him to step up more. I hate seeing that. Like, in my own relationship, I cannot be with somebody that does not speak up for me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, she really shouldn't have to do all of that damn talking to a man. You know, like, it should be clear on what she said from her husband. And I feel like Bill is just back there, just like, you know, she's saying it, which we said the same thing. Like, why would he choose you, Joe, over his wife? You know what I'm saying? But
that Joe Gorga would speak to any of the other wives like that because the husbands would step in. I don't think that he would speak to Dolores like that, knowing Frank would jump in. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he would.
Okay. So they kind of talk about the whole thing about, you know, the whole dress. That was kind of that was kind of their whole thing. The biggest thing was Louie. So Louie revealed a lot of things with Teresa and to Andy. I'm just gonna say Andy is tired of Teresa. I mean, child. If it was not clear, like, Andy hates Teresa. Like, hates her. Like, I feel like all the questions he was asking, like, he was just, and I feel like it was clear answers, but he was literally asking her. And I really feel like when he was saying shut up, he really wanted her to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because he kept saying Teresa. You know what I'm saying? When really it was a both-sided things. But I don't know. I feel like he's tired of Teresa. I'm not saying she's going anywhere because she's not. But like he almost giving her the Kenya treatment. Like I feel like he has the same type of disdain for her as Kenya came afterwards, but she was the first housewife I ever saw to where I knew he actually hated. And I see the same from Teresa now. Go ahead, Sammy.
I don't think he hates her. I think he was just extremely frustrated with her tonight because she kind of was unbearable. Like she wouldn't let Louie speak, she wouldn't let Marge speak, and he's asking these questions because he wants answers. And every time someone tried to speak, she kind of jumped in to shut it down. So I think he was just extremely frustrated with it this particular episode.
Okay,
I agree. But I do think that he's getting sick of her in general. Mm-hmm. I'm a Teresa fan, but I think he's tired of her. But he knows, she's the biggest star of the show, and I think seeing that frustration. Can you imagine sitting there taking that for 12 hours, hearing that back and forth between her and Marge, like in your ear? Like I would have been through everybody out.
And they said it was longer than 12 hours. This one.
Yeah, I think
they like 18
or so. Reunions go. They start early and they go late as hell. I mean that.
But this particular time, I think I remember him saying that they filmed almost 18 hours.
That's ridiculous.
That's probably, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Especially with alcohol and so many limited pee breaks. Maria says, I don't think he hates her. Tori is one of his favorites. I don't think she's one of his favorites at all.
I think she is.
He said He said it publicly, and in recent years, he said that.
Okay. Well, he does though.
Nene was too.
Yeah, Nene was, but I think at some point these wives, these OG housewives, they get to a point to where it turns from oh my god, I love them to they kind of get on my goddamn nerves. It's like but the thing is, Teresa doesn't really. I mean, other than she did push him years ago, but that was a long time ago. She doesn't really like charge back at him like Nene was. Nene was giving very much stuff like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I mean, that's a whole boss. So I don't think she's going nowhere. But I personally don't think that he really likes her too much. But as far as Louie, do y'all feel like Louie was able to get out his side of the story? Basically, because this whole season was about Louie. Everything's about damn Louie. The rumors about him from the retreat, from his ex-wives and his previous girlfriends, everything was about Louie. So do y'all feel like him speaking in the times that he was able to, do you feel like he was able to get out his side of the story and it made sense? Like, how do we feel anything different about him or not?
It made sense, but I feel like had he said this when they first asked him, it wouldn't have been enough. I feel like they just took it now because they know they weren't going to get anything else out of it. Like, I feel like they were happy they even got that much from him. Had he said that at the beginning of the season, they would have kept pushing and saying it don't make sense. It's not good enough.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like, so I would have expected for somebody that had been questioned the entire season, I would have expected him to be a little bit seem more eager to get his story out, but it seemed like he was a little hesitant. It's almost like he was scared of certain things to say. I don't know. It just felt like he was a little hesitant on getting stuff out. Like even he explained the story right, but like all the questions. So Andy asked him 3 back-to-back questions. He asked him about emotional abuse. He asked him about domestic abuse. He asked him about something about trying to throw in there about demanding sex 4 times a day. And everything was kind of like, it was a very slow answering. I'm not saying he's slow, but I just feel like for somebody that is like been on the damn, question block all season long, they would have been very much so like, all right, no, like let me clear this shit out. But I don't know, maybe he really is just a nice person. I kind of get that he may actually just be, he may be put on for the cameras, I don't know, but he may just actually be like a nice person, and the balance that Teresa may need, whether she will accept it or not. But I don't know. Did y'all get that or no?
Yeah, I agree. I think I do agree with you, being that he'd been on the chopping block all season. You would have thought he would have came into the reunion like ready to go. He did. It was like a delay in answering the questions. Even when he did kind of explain that whole man cave situation, it was it's like it was a clear explanation, but it's still, I don't know. It still don't make no sense to me.
I feel like he's a nice guy now, and he wasn't always nice, and I feel like he's trying to stay a nice guy. I think he's changed and he's trying to stay that way.
Okay.
But I also think it also could be like how he revealed he got let go from his company. Maybe he's trying to not save face, but look as presentable as he can be. Because he's probably trying to find a job now, too.
Yeah, I'm gonna, and I agree. I think this comment is what I'm talking about next with Maria was that I do think Marge is bullshit in saying that when he gave his explanation, Joe and Marge was just like, "Thank God you said that," and stuff like that is why I understand why Teresa was pissed off because like it was extra for no reason. And Marge, like, I like Marge, but there is no way that she could justify what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter how many times Andy tried to make it seem like, oh, my friend trying to worry about, like, no, Marge was not her friend like that. And the key word that even Andy said was that if my best friend, they ain't best friends. So you already wrong in your statement and what he was trying to say. But I thought they were kind of full of bullshit on, after he gave his reason, gave his answers. But Louie seemed to not hold grudges for anybody. He was very much so like, you know what, I don't blame anybody for this. I don't blame him for that. Even revealing that he lost ownership or he had to step down from his company or something like that, which seemed to really piss Teresa off some more. But he said he don't blame Marge, although Teresa blames Marge. So I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all feel like, Teresa was well in her right to be, completely stank about all that? Or do you feel like she maybe should like kind of pipe down a little bit from it? Because I feel like even the moment where, he was trying to, let bygones be bygones, let everything kind of clear the air, she was holding on to it. Even Jen was just like, Teresa, like, he's trying to move on. But she was just like, no, nah, fuck that hoe. That's essentially what I got.
Teresa should have took Louie's cue and lead. Louie, I felt, came into the reading to be very strategic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing if I just say this, Marge is going to shut up and go away. And Teresa just would not follow the cue. Teresa would just refuse to be. Teresa's being the same person she's always been. She don't let stuff go. So.
And that's what he asked her. Andy asked her, he was like, why don't you, I think he asked her, why don't you ever change your opinion or something like that? Or it was something he asked her towards the end, like letting stuff go. And she was just like, I don't know. It wasn't a really clear answer, but.
Yeah. He asked her, do you ever look at things and be like, I could have handled that differently, or now I see.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. Then Jen jumped in saying, yeah, me a lot.
Okay. Sammy?
I'm not mad at her. Being that the man lost his whole company, I get why she's frustrated. Granted, I do see how Andy's saying it was out there in the blogs. If it was, I know I'm a big Jersey fan. I seen none of it. I didn't know anything of it until it came onto the show.
I
think Teresa's. I think what she's saying is Marge is what she says she brought it to light. Like Marge gave it the big exposure that it got. And had that not happened, he probably would. I mean, Andy probably would have asked him questions at the reunion, but he probably would have been able to clear it up, and he wouldn't be in trouble with his company. So I get it. I understand why Teresa is pissed off with Marge and is still like, fuck you. I get it.
And I think that's one of my issues with Marge too. Marge loves to throw stuff out there and then say, I didn't realize it was going to blow up like this. Like what she did with Jen. Yeah. I just think that, Marge is a coward for, she's like trying to take it back.
I agree. She tries to imply
that knew what it was going to be. The impact of the show.
Oh, I'm sorry, Danny. Your thing was, it was freeze. My bad. I didn't know you were still talking.
Oh, no,
go ahead, because it was freezing. I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was just saying, just own it. Like, you're the bitch of the show, and just own it. Like,
no, I completely agree. I think that she tries to push that off on like Jen and tell Jen to own that she was doing this, and kind of like a slight Lisa Rinna, the own it queen, but she's not really owning it. You know what I'm saying? And we all know, we watch the damn TV show. We know that this is like this thing with Jen. Like, she can't say, I didn't know it was hurting you like that. Come on now. Stop it. Like, you did it with the intention to hurt. That's just like, you get back at somebody. It is what it is. And as a Scorpio, I don't mind owning when I'm doing something to get back at you. But she needs to do a lot better with that, because she carried two bones this season, the one with Jen and the one with Louie. And both of them, she put it as, I didn't know it would do this. And you have to know when you do something like that. My bad. Go ahead, Sammy.
She's very calculated, and I hate that about Marge. But she definitely, I don't think she expected it to have the repercussions it got, especially for Louie. But she knew wasn't no good gonna come from it. Like she knew what she was doing, but because Teresa's really like fuck you, now she's like, well, I didn't expect for it to get this big. What did you expect to happen, Marge? Like, had all that stuff become true, or had the ex-girlfriends and stuff start popping up on the show? Like, what was she expecting? She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, I want to say that when you speak of like repercussions, so from both situations, she had people coming at her about the kids from Jen. You know what I'm saying? How the kids found out, and you know how that kind of backfire. And then also now she's finding out that Louis lost his, his job or his ownership of the company, whatever it was. And she may not have been the direct reason for that, but because she didn't put, but the stuff was out there, but she definitely had to have had a part in it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
she put it on the show, she brought it to the show. And then not only did she kept talking about it more and more and more. So realistically, honestly, it is kind of her fault when you be technical about it.
And another issue I have with her when she's saying I didn't expect for it to get this bad is closer to the end, she was like, I'm gonna say something. And she mentioned Danielle pulling her hair because of Teresa. She mentioned a bunch of things Teresa did. So was this in your mental when you were doing this? Was this like a way to try to get Teresa back silently without making it look like you were trying to get back at her for all those other situations?
And that's what I wish she would just say.
Say that.
When stuff happened to people, listen, I'm very much so a person of listen. If this happened, if you did this to me, this is why I did this. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how I view things in life. But when she mentioned all those things, especially the hair pulling thing, and Andy was just like, "Well, you said do it." And I'm like, "Oh hell!" So yeah, you must have wanted to get your lick back, girl. I mean, nothing wrong with
That's what that was.
Get your lick back. It is what it is. Let me see. Taylor says she didn't bring it to light, but she magnified it intentionally to make right, exactly.
Yeah.
It was out there, but instead of talking about it one episode, maybe two, it was like 6 episodes in a row, and it was to everybody, and it was to it got out there, so she carried it over and over. So I mean, I don't know, but I'm curious to know why would he actually be, why we have to step down for some allegations. That's the part I'm thinking about, like how.
Well, I mean, the culture we're in.
I was just gonna say
the culture that we're in is that when those if it's sexual allegations like that made, like these days they don't wait for a proof of innocence or guilt. They just don't want the bad press related to it, and they want you to go.
Yep.
And
JP Rob says, "Thank God Marge holds Teresa accountable. If she's gonna hold Teresa accountable, she needs to find a way to a different way. I feel like because her method, it makes her look more of a villain, and it makes, even though Teresa needs some discipline sometimes, it don't really help her case. I feel like it needs to be. It doesn't really. It makes Teresa come out looking like the good guy when half the time it's a valid thing that someone is trying to ask her or get out of her, but she went about it the wrong way because."
Yeah, I don't respect Marge holding her accountable because she won't admit to the reason as to why she's doing it. She masks. Marge doesn't give a damn.
She doesn't have a true concern for
it's not genuine.
Honestly, and if anybody thinks she does, then you just as blind as Marge is, and
that's why I can't get behind it.
That's not true.
But what could she be holding Teresa accountable for this season? Like, it's the first episode in, she brought this to Teresa. Teresa said, "Leave it alone." She should have left it alone. Like, what could she be holding Teresa accountable?
It was probably the hair pull. It was probably the last year
it wasn't accountable. It was revenge.
Yeah, revenge. It was the Evan thing you did to my friend last year. It could be a lot of things. I mean, it's a lot of things she could use, but she ain't saying those things. She's just saying, "Oh, girl, you my girl, and I want to make sure you don't want to get hurt because niggas out here crazy." That's what she's saying. Niggas out here crazy. I don't want you to get hurt.
And Teresa's told her, "I'm happy. Leave it at that."
And when somebody tells you like, "I'm happy, I'm good," I think you should just leave it alone. When you continue to dig at this point, now we got a problem.
problem.
And I've been there before, and I'm never got a problem. So, yeah, but yeah, but overall, like they did talk about that. So Louie spoke, Bill spoke. I'm sorry, and then Marge and Teresa get into it again, and that's when he has Andy has this little mental breakdown or whatever he had. Chad said, "Please stay off the coke." And stay off of it because I don't know what that was on the thing. They did ask Teresa about the table scene. I guess he tries to hold her accountable, I guess, to make her feel remorseful for doing it. She really didn't. Did y'all get anything from that scene, that moment?
You don't think so? I think she held herself accountable. She said
she basically said she wasn't proud of it, but she said that I did it because she was coming at my boyfriend.
Yeah, holding herself accountable doesn't come with a reason as to why you did it.
Like, exactly. That's why I feel like
she even said it again though at the end.
Everything.
I'm proud of
her main response is she was coming at my boyfriend, and so when he asked her about the table thing, he referred it back to the table flip years ago, and she said, "I'm not proud of it, but she was coming from my boyfriend." So I don't think she took any true accountability. I mean, she just gave a reason for what she did, but I get what you're saying. But yeah.
And the one thing
even at the end, though, y'all still don't think so? When he asked her at the end, like, no,
maybe no.
The one thing I agree with
I'm
Marge
gonna give it to her.
When it comes to Teresa is the one thing I agree with Marge that when it comes to Teresa, just the one thing is we expect so little of Teresa when it comes to an apology. We think that Teresa giving the slightest acknowledgement is an apology, and she's sincere. And
yeah, we talked about that.
It's not.
And it's like it was like that with Nene back in Atlanta. We felt like it.
We're like, oh, at least like this. No, that's not cool. I don't like that for anybody.
That's very true.
They lucky they got that up out of them, especially Marge.
People like Sammy is why Teresa gonna continue to do what she do. That's why.
People like Marge is gonna be the reason Teresa continue to do what she do.
Like I would have rather Teresa said no. She talked about man, and I wish I would have flipped the drink harder and hit her in the face. That's what I rather would have heard.
Well, because it wasn't about Marge at that point. It was about Teresa and her growth that she kind of went back on because of that situation. So that's what she was like, I'm remorseful because I let her take me there. I'm going to give it to her.
But she should have ended there.
Sammy like, look,
leave that woman man alone. She's happy.
You acting like Teresa right now, Sammy.
Right. Sammy said, my man.
And you know what? Sometimes.
No, I agree. Now I done been there. My man. I agree. Taylor says, I don't like how Andy singles Teresa out and takes sides, and he should simply moderate.
He's done a lot. This
reunion, he has done it a whole lot. A lot of it has been at Teresa, and more so Teresa and Jen. I don't really feel like he's giving Marge any type of nothing. Like
not even
Marge needed a little discipline too, but he ain't giving her that.
Melissa could have used it too. And
he didn't get kind of quiet until tonight.
He don't want to talk to Melissa because he really don't want Melissa to be there, but she got to be there because he won't Joe. That's the period.
And she was so tonight with the little smirks and the little side snide remarks. I mean, the facial expressions to Teresa, it was just ugh. Teresa gonna watch this back, and Melissa can't come to that wedding now. Watch.
Oh, I would love it.
Invite revoked.
I agree, Chase. It's hard to stand on a wing. It is. It's. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Well, you know. Nene didn't care, child, but Nene ain't on here no more either. So Teresa, don't follow that lead.
Teresa's also not black and don't have to worry about that.
True.
Teresa ain't knocking production teeth out either, though. So we gotta.
Ooh, she did not knock nobody's teeth out.
That's what they said.
She did not. What's the
I see you.
So you probably think that Nene took that belt off Portia too, huh? You think
so? Now wait, you said Portia said that?
Huh? Portia said that.
So now
Portia and Candy.
Portia? So now you believe
Portia and Candy. Portia and Candy.
Okay.
Portia and Candy. I believe
downstairs eating. She don't know.
Well, say Candy said not Portia because you don't believe Portia.
Montgomery says Jen is so rude. I don't understand the sympathy for her. Marge has been cruel. So you think when you say Jen is rude, what do you mean? I want to hear you. I guess if you have an explanation.
She's talking bad about both of them. It seemed like.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. I know. I get the Marge. I'm trying to figure out like when you say Jen is rude. probably in regards to speaking to men, maybe. But I'm trying to figure out. She got a mouth on her. But I mean, her husband ain't doing shit, so she got to speak. At this point, I'm about to say, girl, just talk away, because Bill just sit back there and he just just be sitting back there, child, just back there. She says she can say whatever. Yeah, but she says a lot of stuff, and even at the end of the reunion, when she was trying to get her point across and get vindicated from that stuff with Frank. Did y'all catch Dolores and Jen finna have it out this next season? I don't know.
I'm waiting for it. I'm excited.
I want to see
Me
it.
too.
Dolores was very irritated at that moment. So I'm curious to see what happens. Do y'all think that Marge and Jen will be okay? They did kind of they talked about them making up again. Marge constantly brings up the episode where she talk to her, but do you think they're gonna stay cool or cordial, or
they gonna give me Candy and Nene? They gonna always be cool for a second and fall out. It's not going,
especially if Jackie's still around.
And when we talk, I'm glad that Jen and Dolores can go at it next season, because to be honest, Dolores has had as much impact as Tracy this season.
Well, they are. You said they said Jackie already gone. I mean, Jackie is a friend.
Yeah, no, I said she's had as much. Dolores had as much impact as Tracy. Like Dolores, barely remember she was there other than the beginning of the season.
Look at take my mic if I don't want to be here no more. I'm scared. That's the episode. That's the one. Nene did not knock nobody teeth out, and she did not rip Portia's belt off. Portia's belt flew off because she was pregnant. And I'm sticking to it. LJ Montgomery says they need to add a sister to this bunch. No, they don't.
No.
No. I don't want another Salt Lake City. I don't want another Bib. I don't want it. Please keep the bunches that just because I just feel like Bravo they don't know how to truly handle black talent.
They just throw one in the mix.
They just throw one in their child, and it goes left
with no real connections, no real friendship.
Please, not Marlo. After the way Marlo talked about that white lady on Sunday's episode,
she high-fived the other one though.
She did.
Marlo will make Teresa look like Albert Einstein. That's how
I'm dead. He said a quick hurry. Okay, well, we have talked about everything. I feel like if I missed something, let me know. Go ahead.
Joe Gorga was annoying this episode with the comments and like calling her by all the other husbands a bitch boy. Like
that's why I ain't even talking. I'm like, all right, Joe. You thought he ate that child.
I do. One thing about Jennifer, her to actually admit that she was kind of relieved that the rumor came out so Bill can be held accountable. She was low key getting some kind of silent revenge on her husband, and she was also upset with Marge bringing it out. So she kind of lost me almost with that. Like, I got what she was saying, but you've been upset this whole time, but secretly you've been enjoying it because now Bill has to face the world about his infidelity.
And I think people been saw on social media before the reunion of how people were on her side and supporting her. So she was probably and all that.
Wait, you talking about the support from
Jen,
Bill?
In support of Jen, because Jen wasn't liked by a lot of people before this season.
No, she wasn't. She we talked about it when we came in. I feel like it was definitely a lot of like I didn't even feel bad for her at the beginning like that, honestly, because I thought it was like, okay, girl, if you so hurt, why you coming? But then as it progressed, I think it was more so seeing her have fun, like seeing her just kind of genuinely have a good time. Once she did get to a good place, I think that's what made me kind of start liking her a little more. But I don't feel bad for her situation. I just grew more to like her as a person. I feel like she kind of, how I feel like Ashley Darby's gonna have a really fun season
redemption
because she's divorced, and I feel like she was kind of having that kind of I ain't got no man no more, but she does have a husband, but she was kind of letting her hair down and enjoying the moments. And I feel like we haven't really seen her other than her being drunk. Just her being drunk is not entertaining to me, but she was having a good time. So that's where I am with Jen, and I hope that it continues next season. But her versus Dolores, I don't know what I'm about to do. Something like, oh.
We need that. We need that.
Dolores is not Marge.
Yeah, Dolores ain't Marge.
Say
I
too
don't
much,
know.
but Dolores loves taking digs too. Dolores is an aggressor like Jen because Dolores was getting her snide remarks saying at Jen every chance she got during this reunion.
LJ said, I can't get into Jen. Haven't started to like her yet. I'll keep watching.
I didn't like
Yeah.
Jen. She talked to her brother. I was laughing at her when she cried at Dolores' house. I thought it was hilarious.
Right, I did too. I mean, we was just like,
when she talked to her brother, that's when I started feeling for her.
Jen showed up at this reunion.
When she told Bill that he may want to act right,
otherwise
she gonna leave him. She gonna get a lot of money. Yeah. That's when I was like, okay, come on. You know, I love a city girl.
But she showed up for this reunion every last part, especially tonight. I feel like this was Jen's reunion year.
Yeah, I think it was definitely her year. I think Taylor just said Jen won me over the season. She kept the season afloat. I definitely agree. And so I would have to give her the MVP, you know, she wasn't even that confrontational throughout the season, but she was probably my favorite to watch a lot. Because the Marge and Teresa thing got old really fast.
By episode 3, I was done.
It was old.
It took forever to get to it for one.
It was leading up to it, but it just was like no. And it was a short season, so it was just like that's it. So you know, I don't know.
Can you have imagined 10 more episodes of this?
I can't, child. That's why I think it's been a great season. I'm glad they got a total of 16 episodes, 13 actual episodes, 3-part reunion. Listen, the rest of them need to learn from the lunchbox. They need to learn on how to get in and get out, because you don't need all of that, especially in today's time where we know half this shit is fake anyway. So they need to probably just get it on in and get out. It looks like there's no call-ins. So are there any final thoughts for this season of the Real Housewives of New Jersey from Danny and Sammy? Jamie couldn't be here today, so you know you can catch him tomorrow for Beverly Hills. He'll be there. But yeah, it's been a good season. This is the first time that the Lean has done New Jersey, and we actually the views and like the commentary is like really high. So we'll continue to do it, not just because of the views, but also because I actually enjoy it. So yeah. Let's see. Other cities take notes. Yes, I agree. LJ, we probably will do Dubai. More than likely. I mean, it's a new show.
We have Phaedra on it briefly. We have to, because Phaedra's on it briefly.
And I'm actually intrigued to see what I feel like it's going to be a quick season, which is good. They probably give them like maybe 10 episodes, maybe 13 at the most. But I'm excited for them. Miami is filming right now. Child, Lenny. Child. I don't know why Danny is not over there trying to get more tea for us on the Miami crew, but I need him to go and find filming so we can get some exclusives. Antonio say I'm looking forward to next season without Jackie. Okay, y'all. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for watching. It's been a really great season. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Sammy and Jamie, who's not here today, and all of the viewers. LJ every week. Maria, Taylor, Nushka, JP Rob, Chase for coming in, Antonio. Everybody that's been watching, thank y'all. And make sure you leave a comment below, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Let us know what you thought about the season and what you thought about our commentary. And be sure to catch us every Wednesday for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and every Monday for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Dubai is probably in the works. And of course, Ultimate Girls Trip. All that Bravo shit, we're going to probably cover. So just keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, and we'll see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Bye.